Have you ever just landed into this new role and instead of just feeling all of this excitement, this happiness, all of a sudden it was like a wave of doubt. Like everyone was waiting for you to prove you deserve to be there. I've been there. The title changed, but the pressure, belong, continued to get harder than ever. I remember when I got promoted to project manager, I thought I finally made it. But the moment I stepped into the new role, it didn't feel like, yes, victory. It felt like surveillance. Suddenly, the same people who used to grab coffee with me were watching my every move. The first meeting I led, I never forget it. My notes were a novel. My slides, you know how we do it. They were flawless. And my voice, hello, mic check 1, 2. No, it was cracked, okay, if I'm just being honest with you. See, when a senior stakeholder challenged my timeline, I froze like we were playing freeze tag. I completely went blank. I mumbled something about, I think I'll just circle back with you and let's wrap this meeting up early. See, I was pretending it was intentional. I walked out of the room feeling like a kid wearing a suit too big for him. That night, imposter syndrome. That doggone imposter syndrome. It didn't whisper. It pulled up a seat right next to me. And I swear, I promised to tell the truth, nothing but the truth. I could hear it screaming. It said, you are over or way over your head. Everyone sees it. I actually consider asking my boss to let me go back to being a project coordinator. But then a real crisis hit. A key vendor pulled out just days before a major delivery. And then there was no time to overthink, no time to doubt, no time to perform. I didn't feel confident. I didn't even feel qualified. I just acted. I pulled the team together and said, hey, listen, here's the situation. We have to make our first move. I didn't pretend to know it all. I listened, I delegated, and I made a call that even scared me, but it worked. It wasn't pretty. It wasn't even polished, but we solved it. When my team thanked me afterwards, it wasn't for being perfect. It was being who I was called to be, just being authentic, just being me. And that's when it finally clicked for me. Confidence isn't the ticket you need to start. Mm-mm. It's the receipt you earn when you've done the work by yourself and with a team. So when the project finally wrapped up, I really realized something I wish someone would have told me sooner. You don't suddenly feel ready when you are promoted. You become ready, though, through what you do next. That moment, standing in front of my team, scared, but I was leading, taught me that you are enough, even when you are unsure. Because here's the truth, family. Nobody feels prepared for the moment they actually level up. That's just a myth of promotion. The ideal, the thought, the meaning is confidence comes with the title, but it doesn't. The title just hands you a mirror and you are staring right back at it and it's staring back at you. The doubt, the concern. But you can ignore that because here's the truth. Nobody feels prepared for the moment they level up. But that's also where growth begins. You don't build confidence by collecting certifications, approval, or a little praise here and there. You build it by showing up every day. You build it even when your voice is cracking or shaking and you're feeling nervous. Principle number 1, you are enough, even when you're unsure. Again, family, you are enough, even when you're unsure. See, doubt is not a proof of weakness. It's a sign that you're expanding. Every step into new territory will trigger insecurity because you are breaking those old limited beliefs. Every leader who's ever stepped into a new challenge has faced that moment of uncertainty. What defines them, though, is whether they move or stay the same. Why is that important? If you don't believe you're enough, you'll start managing from fear instead of leading from purpose. I like that, family, because a fear-based leadership drains the team faster than any bad processes could ever. Experiment with these actionable tips. Act before you feel ready. Confidence follows evidence, not the other way around. Next one, Document small wins. Always talk about keeping a weekly record of what went right and just what went off schedule. Last and final one. Anchor in purpose, not perfection. Your value isn't in flawless delivery. It's in consistent direction. Here's my professional advice, family. High-performing leaders aren't fearless. They're just more self-aware. They know uncertainty is part of leadership, not a sign that they're unqualified. And that brings us to the heart of what so many of us wrestle with in silence, that quiet voice that says, you don't belong here. That's not failure talking. That is imposter syndrome. And it's the tax every leader must pay when they're growing faster than their comfort zone. Principle number 2, imposter syndrome is just the tax of growth. Ooh, I like that, family. See, the moment you level up, your old destiny or identity can't keep up. It creates friction. This is when imposter syndrome likes to kind of wiggle in. You know what I'm talking about. Friction now becomes kind of disguised. But what's important here, family, if you run from imposter syndrome, you'll make the mistake of taking progress for pain and retreat back to what's comfortable. This is why it's easy when people feel uncomfortable and then see a comfort zone, they'll go for the comfort zone because it's easier. This is more challenging to go from a transition of being a coordinator to a project manager to going from actually being part of the team to actually leading the team. Experiment with these actual tips. Name the voice. Label that inner critic. It loses power when you recognize it. Next one, separate facts from feelings. Compare your fears against the real feedback or results. And then the last and final one, stay curious, not critical. Replace, I should know this with, I'm a work in progress and I am learning this. Here's my professional advice. High performers often feel like imposters because expectations outpace their onboarding. Ooh, this is getting good to me, family. See, leaders should normalize transitional discomfort as part of growth, not incompetency. See, listen, once you accept that discomfort is part of progress, rejection starts looking different, not as an ending, but as information. Principle number 3, rejection is data, not a definition. See, every no reveals direction. Rejection refines your strategy, your communication, and most of all, your focus if you treat it as data. Why is this important? Most professionals internalize rejection as personal failure. Oh, you want me to come to the head of the class and tell my story real quick? This is exactly what most of us face, is that when we have a rejection or a redirection, sometimes we internalize that, oh, you're not going to just raise your hand for me right now. Okay, that's fine. I'll do it for you, because you're trying to understand. Matter of fact, you're trying to unpack, why is this happening? And what this does is it prevents you from analyzing what it actually means. So experiment with these actual tips. Deconstruct every no. Just ask why and extract the lesson. Next one, track patterns. If you're getting similar pushback, the feedback is speaking directly to you. And the last and final one, build rejection tolerance. I'm telling you, you're going to need this, especially as a PM. Review past wins that started with initial failures. Here's my professional advice, family. Project managers face rejection daily, whether it's around budgets, timelines, resource requests. The pros learn to translate rejection into a negotiation strategy. I like that, family, because once you reframe the rejection, you realize solitude, as they'll say, hits a little different. Not as punishment, though, but as preparation. Principle number 4, isolation doesn't mean incompetence. Being left alone in leadership doesn't always mean you're unsupported. It might just mean people trust you to do what you came to do, which is handle the job, handle the complexity. Why is this important? Misinterpreting isolation as failure can make you withdraw further, which this creates a disconnection. Experiment with these actionable tips. Schedule connection points. Proactively check in with peers and mentors. Next one, create reflective space. Where solitude is where clarity forms, don't rush to fill the silence. And the last and final one, communicate upward. Share updates so leadership sees your progress and growth. Here's my professional advice. Isolation is common for new PMs promoted internally. The relationship shift before the trust rebuilds. Communicate early, clearly, and most of all, often. But in those quiet moments, the question becomes, are you pretending to fit in or are you showing up your authentic self? Principle number 5, authenticity is your edge. People follow people, not job titles. What's important is you use the talents and the gifts you've been blessed with to build connections so you can establish authority. Why is this important? If you fake like you belong, you eventually burn out trying to sustain an act that's not even who you are. I'm not talking about not being professional. I am definitely talking about being professional, but I am talking about being who you are and growing your skill sets as you grow in a career. See, this is where I get confused. Here's my small rant. This is a career. And if we're looking at it as a career, that means a career comes with growth. I like that. I'm already having my own little sermon, so you got to excuse me. But what I'm trying to say, family, is a lot of times we confuse that we are on a career trajectory, which means translates into somebody that has to go through things. They have to learn through what they go through. Okay, here's my actionable tips. Lead like you talk. Don't change your tone in meetings. Stay consistent. Next one. Admit when you don't know something. See, transparency builds trust faster than any perfection. And the last and final one, show your process. Let others see how you think and not just the results. Here's my professional advice. Executives respect PMs who are real, who say, I don't know yet, but I will go get the answer for you. That signals maturity, not weakness. But of course, the higher you climb, the heavier the pressure feels, which brings us to the next truth. Principle number 6, the weight of promotion. Every title increases invisible expectations to perform, to lead, and to find solutions to problems. That's the real weight that no one warned you about. Why is this important? If you ignore the weight of burnout, it will happen. It might happen. Matter of fact, it may just knock on your door because it becomes so heavy to handle. Experiment with these actionable tips. Redefine success. Focus on sustainability, not speed. Next one, ask for support early. You don't get points for silent struggling. Trust me. Last and final one, delegate without guilt. Let go of tasks that no longer align with your level. Here's my professional advice. Promotions without mentorship lead to preventable turnover. Organizations should pair every promotion with a guided transition coach. But carrying that weight alone reminds me of something really critical that we must discuss. You have to remember why you picked up the mantle of wanting to make that transition from coordinator to project manager. Principle number 7, rebuild your why. Rebuild your why. See, when the desire to belong overshadows the reason you started, motivation disappears. It fades, actually. Reconnecting with your purpose realigns everything. Why is this important? Without a clear why, every obstacle feels personal instead of professional. I like that, family. Experiment with these actionable tips. Write down your origin story. Remind yourself what made you want to start leading projects anyway. Next one, define success in your own words, not what your boss says or how the company is looking for you to do. They are important, but this is for you. This is something to help you understand why you even got started in this thing that I love, that I hope you fall in love with, called project management, by defining your success in your own words. And the last and final one, do one purpose-driven task weekly, something that reminds you of why you got started. Here's my professional advice. Purpose alignment is one of the strongest predictors of PM retention and satisfaction. Leaders should revisit personal missions either monthly or quarterly, depends on where you're at. And once you rediscover your why, you will realize belonging doesn't come from others' approval. It starts from within. Principle number 8, belonging starts with self-acceptance. You can't belong anywhere you're still rejecting yourself. Acceptance is the anchor that allows confidence to actually grow. Why is this important? When you lead from insecurity, you create tension. When you lead from acceptance, oh, this is getting good, family, you create Align the experiment with these actionable tips. Celebrate your progress, not your perfection. Growth counts more than grace. Next one, set boundaries around comparison. Don't measure your path by someone else's timeline. And the last and final one, practice daily affirmations through action. Show your self-belief. Don't just say it. And here's my professional advice. High-performing PMs who practice self-acceptance build psychological safeties across teams. That is what fuels engagement and trust. Because listen, family, at the end of the day, every project manager is fighting two battles, one with the project and one with themselves. The first wins deadlines, the second wins leadership. Here's the truth. You know, when I look back at that first promotion, the nerves, the silence, matter of fact, the sleepless nights, I did realize something. I wasn't fighting for a title. I was fighting to believe I deserved the one I already had. And that's what so many of us go through. We work so hard to prove we belong that we forget the goal isn't to earn validation. It's to own our own value. Because the truth is, you'll never feel completely ready for that next level. You'll doubt yourself. You'll overthink. You will have moments where the room gets quiet and you wonder, Jesus, come take the wheel, because you wonder why you even belong. But every time you step up, every time you face the uncertainty and still choose to lead, you're proving that you do. So if you don't take anything from today's episode, I ask that you take this. Let it be this. Confidence doesn't come before the challenge. It is built through it. If this message resonated with you, please share it with another project manager who needs to hear it. If you're looking for mentorship or coaching, check the link in the episode. Let's you and I get the work in. And if you're new here, I go by the name of ED. For all you smart and intelligent folks out there, that just simply means Ed. Until next time.